What would you say is the main difference between children and adults?
Do you know, I think adults and children are all awesome in the main part. I think one of the challenges that I have, and I talk about this a lot in my work, and I write about it a lot in my books. Um, there is this huge shift in mindset, of course, as we grow up. You know, we learn what it's like to fail. We learn what it's like to be judged. We learn what it's like to be bullied. We learn what it's like to not be liked and know what that feels like. And so, of course, changes as we go. I talk about I think there's this kind of moment. If you think about kids, right, there's three things kids are amazing at. One, there's lots of things they're amazing at, but if we think about this in terms of mindset, kids always want things to be more fun and more exciting. Like they walk into a room and, you know, when you're 5 and your eyes are scanning for the fun, for the excitement, for the color, for the play or whatever it is you're looking for. 2, they believe things are possible, everything. And 3, they know things are worth the effort, which is why they'll build Lego for 6 hours and then trash it and start again, which is why they'll go out and build a den, even though they've been told, but it's going to rain in an hour. And that particular moment there, that last example I gave there, is something I mention a lot. And it's this idea that I reckon there's far too many grown-ups in this world. In fact, we'll keep that bit separate. There's too many grown-ups, and that's spelled Groan. That's a separate thing. But if we go back to traditional grown-ups, spelled Grown, there's far too many grown-ups in this world who have made that shift in their head and in their heart from being the type of person who wanted to go outside and build a den, but they've shifted to become the type of person that thinks and says, but it's going to rain in an hour. And for me, that kind of sums up the big difference, not between every adult and child, but between most. Because if you look at those three things again through the eyes of an adult, you know, always wanting things to be more fun and more colourful and more exciting. I know I do, always in everything that I do, but I also know a lot of adults who don't. Secondly, we have to believe things are possible. That's difficult when we're grown-ups, you know, when you've maybe got financial restrictions, you've got to work, you've got to pay your mortgage, etc. And I think also there's a lot of us out there that are overthinkers. You know, the older we get, the more we overthink. Some of us are huge overthinkers. There's lots of anxiety in the world, so it's hard to believe that everything's possible. And lastly, this idea of things being worth the effort. As adults, that means something different. That means that in the short term, it's going to be awful and we're going to have to work hard and we're going on a journey of change. Whereas kids get excited about that stuff. So I've no idea if that answered your question, Gregor, but that's my take on it.